I'm a nog girl. Yeah, I love it.
I want to be clear that we don't necessarily have like headlines from these episodes, but if we did, yours would be I'm a nog girl.
Cool.
Yeah. How long have you had that YOLO tattoo on your hand there?
Oh, I got it. I feel like a few years ago.
Okay.
Zac Efron allegedly has the same one, so I was inspired by him.
Okay. Same place?
Yeah. Same place,
Oh.
same type of writing. Emily Effler did it for me for my birthday, like
Okay.
4 or 5 years ago. It was after The Greatest Showman came out. 'Cause
Okay.
I was playing it when I was getting it done.
Listen, I thought that was a pretty catchy soundtrack.
Great music, terrible like storyline and everything. I mean, Barnum and Bailey is a terrible human being in real life.
Yeah. Really was very bad to a lot of people and animals.
Yeah. But yeah, I just got a ghost one yesterday at my office Christmas party.
Wait, hold on.
See?
I love it.
They were giving away free tattoos, and I want like the long line for the basic ones of palm trees. It was like 2 a.m. You had like the sign up. I was like, I'm not gonna be here that long, so I got to squeeze in, and they had like a little ghost. I'm like, I'll do that. I like spooky stuff.
So hold on. So you had never thought to yourself, I want a ghost tattoo. You just saw that they had a ghost tattoo, and you were like, I'll live with this for the rest of my life on my arm.
Well, they had like a flash thing, so the flash page of a variety of and I was like, I'll do that. I mean, it's a little guy. I'll do a tattoo for $50. You know what I'm saying? I'm at that age where I'm like, fuck it.
But I think like that's why I get nervous about like tattoos. I'm just like, oh my God, like what if I get a tattoo where it's just like, I think I love something forever right now, but that's permanent. What do I do?
I think I'm at that age where I like stuff. I'm going to like it for a while. Like I like scary movies and everything.
Sure.
And I like You Only Live Once. I like that idea. I feel like I do that. Like I'm like, let's go somewhere.
I do feel like you have very much have that energy. Yeah.
I still love Zac Efron, even though his mouth is weird.
Well, I believe he says that
he's an accident. I know.
Yeah, he like his jaw was hanging off or something crazy like that.
Still looks weird, dude. I don't know. You got money. You could have fixed it even better, in my opinion.
I don't think he looks horrible, but I understand that he looks different.
Yeah, it's too. I don't know. I guess I liked his mouth beforehand, maybe, and it looks like you look more like a muscle man now. I don't know. It's like a weird. Yeah. I'll still hit it though, 100%. No doubt. I mean, still love him.
Well, listen, I want to ask you all about hitting it with Zac Efron. I want to jump into the tea before we do that.
Yes.
The tea that we are drinking today is Rishi's Masala Chai.
Yes.
You love a chai. Yes. Cheers to you, my dear.
I love chai.
I haven't tried it yet. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Strong.
Mm-hmm.
This is, so for those who are sleeping at home, steeps at 200 for 5 minutes. To some surprise, because there is black tea in here. Black tea in a chai. How do you feel about it? You're making a face. You don't love it.
I like sugar and milk in it.
Do you want some? I can get you some.
Can I add some?
Yeah,
Is that
hold
okay?
on. I'll get it for you. Hold on. So for those that are listening and not watching, we took a quick break to get some milk and honey in the tea. Now let's get a tasting.
It's better.
Yeah, I was going to say, now how do you feel?
Much better.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
sweet.
So just so you know, if you're steeping this with us at home, masala chai might need a little milk and honey. Might need that.
It's just a very powerful flavor, which is great, you know?
Yeah. I tend to like a chai latte really works for me.
Yeah, that's my fave.
I was going to say, do you order those? Because you specifically said you love chai. Do you do those?
Yeah, that's my fave. Or now, 'tis the season. I don't know if it's the season anymore. Pumpkin chai lattes they had at, I think, Starbucks. And I was like, what?
I
The
want
dream.
that.
Yeah. Pretty great.
I love seasonal flavors. I'm a big seasonal flavors guy, not just around Christmas time, but like I'll do pumpkin spice in autumn. I'll do like peppermint things in December. Like you bring out a seasonal thing and I'm just like, I guess if I have to.
Twist my arm.
Yeah. Are you a seasonal gal?
I'm a pumpkin gal through and through. I am. Look at me. Of course I am.
What does that mean?
Basic white bitch pumpkin.
Oh, got it.
That's
okay,
what I
okay,
mean.
okay. I'm a basic bitch. Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
But I'm not huge into peppermint. I like chocolate and mint.
Okay.
I'll do a hot chocolate with peppermint, but I'm not I don't know, Christmas flavors depends.
Okay.
Yeah. Gingerbread, eggnog, I'll mess with that.
Okay, you will mess with eggnog.
Yeah.
Some people won't mess with eggnog.
I'm a nog girl. Yeah, I love it.
I want to be clear that we don't necessarily have like headlines from these episodes, but if we did, yours would be I'm a nog girl.
Cool.
Yeah. Anytime I go, and I want to be clear because this is going to be the most obnoxious sentence I say on this podcast, I don't go skiing all the time. I'm not very good, and I don't own any sort of ski equipment. So I'm going to preface with all of that.
Okay.
Whenever I go skiing, I love to get a spiked hot chocolate.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
Yeah, I get a peppermint schnapps spiked hot chocolate. That
sounds great.
It's incredible.
When I go, I want to preface, I don't own any snowboarding equipment or anything.
Now I've set the trend where we both have to be like, we're not wealthy as hell. Yeah.
But in the pandemic, I tried to teach myself and would go to Big Bear, and I would have a Bloody Mary beforehand, not a
You do it beforehand.
I'll go up the slope once, and then as a reward, I'll get it, and then I'll keep going after.
Oh, okay. I tried snowboarding twice. I gave myself a minor concussion the second time.
Oh, no. How? You fell?
Oh, all the time. I fell on a very regular basis snowboarding.
Oh, my. I mean, I do too, but at least it's like I just fall on my butt. Like, it's safe.
I had to stop doing that because someone was saying, like, some people intentionally fall on their butt to avoid going too fast.
Yeah.
So you've got to like embrace what you're doing and stop doing that. And then I stopped doing that. As soon as I did, caught an edge, hit my head.
Yeah. I'm too scared. Now I'm going to keep falling on my butt because you hurt yourself.
Yeah. Well, that's why I ski. I was also a late ski learner. That's not a phrase, but I was late to skiing. I think I learned at 31.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
My parents, not like, I feel like I went twice in my life as a kid, but I didn't like it. I was scared, and I don't like having the two things, and then they knock into each other. I like the one thing when you're on the ski slope or
ski lope. I like the ski lope.
Lipped. You just hold that versus like knocking it. I don't know. I feel like snowboarding seems easier for me, but I also learned it late as well, like in my 30s.
Okay, so like that's the thing is sometimes I feel like if I want to go learn something at this age, people are like, maybe just stick with what you do now. Like, I feel like people are like, we got to take him out back. You know, I'm just like, oh my God.
I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm still young. Let's go. I'm like, still kid energy.
Yeah. Oh my God, me too. I always want to do crazy shit. Like, I was saying to someone the other day, and this is not as much of an age thing, but I said to someone the other day, I'm dying to get to take a knife skills class, not for like I mean for cooking, not for like stabbing.
Yeah.
And
like dancing like Britney Spears, like that kind.
Well, no, that's part of it. They were like, why? I was like, I just think it would be like so cool to like know what I'm doing. Like, like I am a decent cook, but like, man, if I could take some knife skills, are you kidding me?
Yeah, do it.
Really get into that. Mm-hmm. You know, I also would like to go axe throwing.
I did that once at at the haunted hayride. You could just pay. It was like $5 more to throw some axes.
I would have done that.
Sure, I got one, and the rest did not even stick. So.
I think mine would just like bang against the thing and fall.
Yeah.
You said haunted hayride, and you said earlier as you were showing me your ghost tattoo, you mentioned that you like scary things. How big into scary do you go? Like, are you like, I will see almost every horror movie that comes out kind of scary? I will go to Knott's Scary Farm.
Yeah. I mean, kind of. I have AMC A-list, so of course I'll see any movie in theaters.
I think we both know I should have it. I have the one right below it.
You should, get it. It's only like $23 a month.
Are there any blackouts with that thing? I don't want to give them. They're not sponsoring this podcast.
Yes, they are, because I wanted to see the Taylor Swift thing. I'm not a huge Swiftie, but I was like, I'm open to it. Or Beyonce's thing, and you have to pay for those. And I'm like, well, guess I'm not going to see that.
Yeah.
It's not on A-list.
Wait for that to come home.
$22. Taylor Swift, you got enough money, okay?
Can I tell you, I saw her in concert. Mm-hmm. And by the way, as someone who's not a huge Swiftie, I was blown away. Like, I understand that like people don't want to keep hearing how impressive it was, but it really was a feat.
It should be for $300.
Yeah, I mean, it was an incredible performance. And then also, I was open to seeing it in theaters.
Ooh.
However, someone was like, yeah, the best part is that like they have sing-alongs in the theater. I go, and I'm out. Yeah. And I was like, I don't want to hear anyone else singing in a theater.
Yeah.
No.
That sounds fun to me, but also, yeah. I mean, I would love to see her under $100. That's my rule for concerts. I'm not gonna spend unless you're like, you know what? I don't even know.
I'm trying to think, who would your person be that you'd spend over $100 at?
I feel like I've seen, because I won free tickets to see Elton John, so I don't have to see it.
I would absolutely see that concert.
Yeah, great. He was amazing.
I think I would pay more than $100 to see Elton John.
Yeah, you should. He's an incredible. But like, that's it. Like, who else? I don't know. The Rolling Stone, like people that are like on the way out that you like, I gotta see it before.
But like, I'm trying to think, like, what do you listen to the most?
What do I listen? I listen to a lot of like, I'm still a high schooler. I listen to a lot of emo stuff still. I just saw Say Anything at the Regent, and let me tell you, they still rip. Very
do they
fun.
Really?
Oh yeah, it was.
You
really
would
fun.
say that like they're still alive with the glory of love.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And they did that.
Yeah, of course they did. I think that's their biggest hit, probably.
Wow, I Could Get Sexual too. I think that was on TRL.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I like pop. You know who I would pay to see? Olivia Rodrigo. I love her, and she was great on SNL.
I gotta tell you, really didn't like her performance on SNL this past.
The second one? Did you watch the second one?
Yeah. Didn't love it. But here's the thing. I'm also a diehard Paramore guy. Mm-hmm. So because I think you and I, it sounds like we might have like been into similar music growing up. So like I went to the Warped Tour. I was big on Jack's Mannequin and Fall Out Boy and Panic at the Disco, like all that stuff. Big. Loved Paramore. Had this notion that Haley would one day be like, I just wish I could find like a down-to-earth Jewish boy from New York. And then I was just like, well, looky here. So I genuinely had quite a crush on Haley. So like that was, so I think Olivia Rodrigo, I think she's very good. Mm-hmm. It just feels to me, I'm just like, well, this just feels like a diluted version of what I already love.
She's got variety. You're just hearing the similar songs, but she's got some pipes and she does some good ballads.
She has a very good voice.
Yeah. She does Crazy Eye really well. Love that.
Crazy Eye?
Yeah, she just looks crazy in her videos sometimes.
Got it. Okay.
I'm like, okay, girl, go.
Should I be perfecting Crazy Eye? I've never not heard of this.
I think it's just her, like that type of her music, like Bad Idea, like the lyrics. It's like, oh, she wants to get back with her ex.
Yeah.
The biggest lie I've ever said. Like, that's crazy. You're crazy.
Oh,
you know.
Okay, yeah. I don't know if I pull off crazy well. I'm not.
You don't. I don't think that's your humor.
Yeah, no,
You're
probably
not. Crazy.
I don't get on stage. I'm just
crazy white dudes.
Yeah, I more get on stage and I'm like, who needs a hug? I'm feeling sad.
Yeah, we need more hugs.
Yeah, exactly. I had someone come to you after a show the other day, and because I had made a joke on stage where I was like, y'all ever accidentally just like walk into a door just so you feel like you have some closeness with something?
That's
as
funny.
A joke.
Yeah.
And this person ever was like, do you want a hug? And I was like, I don't need a hug, but I would like one.
Yeah.
And then this woman who I don't know gave me a hug, and I was like, that's nice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Maybe she needed the hug.
I hope so.
Probably.
You know what I will never forget about you, though? And I told you this story, but I genuinely, this has not happened with anyone else in history. I had broken cartilage in my wrist, and I was going to an occupational therapist. You must remember this story.
I don't know. Remind me again.
And, have you ever, like, seen, like, a physical therapist or occupational therapist before?
No, but I've heard, my mom works in the department, so
pretty much, to make a long story short, for anyone listening who has not done this before, it's totally fine, but, like, you end up making conversation with like whoever, like you're doing these exercises, right? Like he was helping me like, improve my wrist flexibility and functionality after I broke the cartilage. Like you can't just do it in silence. So like we're doing this and he's a really good guy. And he goes, yeah, you do comedy. I just saw some comedians down in Orange County. And I was like, oh, that's great. And I was like, do you remember any of their names? He's like, no, I don't. He goes, it's funny though. There's this one girl who like did a lot of jokes about like banging Zac Efron. And I was like, oh, was it Kelly McInerney? And he goes, I don't know. I have to look. I go look. And he looks. He goes, yeah. And I was like, I never has anyone been like, oh, someone did a joke about X and I can name the comedian. With that, I was like, that's Kelly. I know Kelly.
Yeah, I remember you told me that. Yeah.
I could not believe that. Is that kind of like you're like, if you could be known for anything, you're like, I am the comedian who perfected a Zac Efron like whole string of jokes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm down for that. As long as it gets to Zach.
Yeah, you're like, hey, Zach, this is my YOLO tattoo.
Yeah. I heard you're still single. At least you're pretending. No, it's okay. For the public, yeah, I mean that or fart jokes or I don't know. I like having dark. Oh, she talked a lot of about dark stuff, but also farts, like stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, listen, some people might feel trauma around farts. That might be dark stuff to them. I don't know.
Dead dads and farts, like that's what I want to be known for. And Zac Efron, just a variety.
I love that. Dead dads, farts, and Zac Efron, which I feel like everyone pairs or really couples those three things. No, it is funny. I think I told you this. I spent like 6 months doing a set solely about my dead father, cancer, and car accidents.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, really hit or miss set.
Especially in LA. I feel like people are like, or
so hard to do it here.
Yeah.
And then Katrina Davis said to me, I told her, I was like, man, I can't get this like bulletproof. Mm-hmm. I can't get it where like everyone is loving this. And she goes, I wouldn't want everyone to love it. She goes, I'd rather have some people love it and some people hate it than everybody just like it.
Okay.
And I was like, oh. She's like, as soon as everyone loves something, then there's nothing that pushes boundaries about it. It's just like a thing that we're all fine with. And I remember, and I'm poorly paraphrasing her, but I was just like, damn, like
it's true.
Okay.
Yeah, because like same thing with like fart jokes. Do you want everybody to like fart jokes? Do you want your grandma, or like kind of maybe, but
my
not.
grandma might have. I'm trying to think. I can't ask her now, but I wonder if she would have liked them.
Yeah,
it's possible.
It depends on the person, like one of my grandmas is kind of a bitch. I'm like, well, you wouldn't like it because you don't have good taste, Well,
but yeah. Was she one of those kinds of grandmas, and I speak as having had one of these grandmas, who would just like, when she would come to visit you, you almost felt like she thought she was royalty, where she's like, oh, yes, the kids are here. Good to see you. Kelly, how's your school?
Kind of. She just didn't treat my brother right. Like, she loved me, but then with Michael, she would be like, oh, can you do this for me?
Is he older or younger?
Older.
Oh, so she treated him more like an adult, maybe.
Yeah, it was also my mom, different marriage. That's why.
Okay.
So she got married. My dad adopted my brother, so that's why my grandma is very like.
It was your father's mother.
Yeah, it's not the real grandchild.
Oh, that's terrible. Yeah.
Roman Catholics, man, cunts.
So again, we don't have headlines from these episodes, but Roman Catholics, cunts would definitely be up there. Are you still religious?
No, I'm not. Also not. My mom made us Protestant, but I'm atheist.
Okay.
Very much. I don't think there's a God.
yeah, which is very fine.
Yeah.
My mother said, I don't know how religious she was before my dad died, but I remember when my dad died, my mom, which, by the way, just to be clear, we were not talking about my dad dying in the conversation where this came up. We were talking about something else. Who cares? Yogurt? I don't know.
Yeah.
But my mom interrupts a very normal conversation to go, I think once your father died, I realized there is no God. And we were all just like, sorry, I said, can you pass the water? That's why,
Good for her, though. I mean,
yeah, that's where she completely turned it. That was the moment where she's just like, there's no God. Yeah. I was like, oh. She goes, what do you believe? I was like, I believe that I'm not intelligent enough to know anything.
True.
That's my belief.
Yeah.
I always tell people is that I'm not so arrogant as to think I know the answer, but I do believe I'm smart enough to not trust people who say they have it.
Yeah.
It's kind of where I sit.
I think that's a good place to sit.
Yeah, it's taking no stance.
Yeah.
But I'm also not someone who, like, when something's bad is happening to me, I don't go, please God. I'm always just like, I'm more just like, please, Josh, get through this.
Yeah. It's on you. That's how I feel too. It's like, you got to do something. He hasn't proven anything yet.
Yeah. You're like, listen, the way that we eat, sleep, and breathe could have been the Big Bang. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know enough about science to really be commenting on any of anything.
Me neither. In high school, my last science was called Science or Poets. I'm an idiot with science.
Hold on. I'm sorry. Science or poets?
For poets.
Oh, for poets.
Yeah. I went to this weird like art school, arts and science. We majored in stuff. I did theater, but you could also major in like bio or whatever.
Okay.
And then one of my classmates proposed this idea for us to instead of physics for the 4th year, the art students do science for poets, which consisted of a guy, Mr. Marchese, probably dead by now, but he allegedly
was that old?
Yeah.
Oh.
He allegedly lost his license going backwards in the Lincoln Tunnel. That was the rumor. And he would make us watch.
This man.
Yeah, make us watch Rosemary's Baby and write a poem on it. So that's my science in high school.
Okay. I have 1,000 questions.
Yeah.
Were you into horror movies before this moment, or was that seminal for you?
It was, I guess, seminal. I didn't like Rosemary's Baby though.
I've never seen it.
It's fine.
It's Lynch, right?
No, it's what's his face? Oh shit. The guy that's
Everyone who's listening is gonna hate us right now.
the guy that went to whatchamacallit, that he's not allowed in the
Roman
US
Polanski.
anymore. Yes, thank you.
Oh, okay.
You got it.
Yeah.
Context clues.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
He's come up multiple times on this podcast.
Really?
Yeah, he has. Not by me. I've not seen any of his movies.
They're fine. They're overrated in my opinion.
But yeah, I don't think that's a bad opinion to hold right now. It's like, hey, this guy who's not allowed in the States for very, very bad reasons. I don't love his films, you know? Yeah, no, I didn't see that. So, okay, so you watched a horror film and then wrote a poem about it and you got science credit for that.
Yeah.
I want to go to your high school. Where was this?
It was in North Bergen, New Jersey, called High Tech High.
That's not real.
I swear to God, our mascot was a laser cat.
Oh my God. Which, by the way, one of my favorite SNL sketches,
Yeah,
Laser Cats.
so good.
Amazing.
Oh my God, I miss The Lonely Island every day. They're still
They're still here.
but I'm on SNL.
Yeah.
That's why I don't know Spanish, because we would watch like The Lion King in Spanish, El Rey León. In case you want.
No, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Don't know any other words. I know how to say The Lion King.
You don't know how to say
I
I just can't wait to be king in Spanish?
Yo nunca empezar. Something Ray.
You'll never start to be king.
Yeah. I'm doing Duolingo.
Listen, I'm into it. I'm into it. Yeah, I don't know what it would be. No puedo esperar. You know, El Rey. I don't know. I can't wait, and then I don't have to be. I just wrote I can't wait king.
Yeah, maybe ver. Is it ver to be? I don't know.
It's to see. To be is ser or a star.
Okay.
Well, it's interesting. So you're doing Duolingo?
It's awful. They're teaching me El bujo escribe una carta.
Someone wrote a card. Who's the
owl?
Oh,
wrote
the owl.
A letter. Why would an owl learn how to write a letter? It doesn't, like, why are you teaching me these sentences about the cow opened the window? Like, literally, these are the sentences I'm getting now. Over a year of doing it. $375 today.
So we used to have to write, when I took Spanish in high school, we used to have to, you would take your vocab words and you have to write a sentence with your vocabulary words, which, by the way, in hindsight, why I skirted these assignments is beyond me, because that would have been really helpful.
I know. You look back and you're like, why did I do that?
So what I would do, and this is a terrible thing, and if anyone who's in high school is listening to this, don't do this. Mm-hmm. I would write the same sentence every single time and put a different vocab word in different parts of the sentence. And every time my sentence was como ahora vaca marrón, which directly translates to how now brown cow. And I would literally just write that, but I would like throw in a vocabulary word. So if it was el bujo, it would be like como ahora el bujo vaca marrón. Just like somewhere in there. And to anyone reading this, be like, how now the owl brown cow? And I'm like, that's correct. Yeah, that's it. Just to get out of doing those assignments.
Yeah.
And now clearly here I am not bilingual.
I mean, at least you know how to say how now brown cow in Spanish.
Is that helpful? Someone's like, I need someone to rhyme. Yeah. Well, I feel like for someone like you, is my memory wrong that I feel like I saw pictures of you or something, posts from you in South America?
Yeah. I just went to Peru.
Yeah. So does that help? Did you have enough Spanish to help you?
Kind of. No. Yes and no. I went with my friend Sergio from high school, who is like a brother and that speaks Spanish. That's all you need.
Oh, I was going to say, you have the hookup.
Yeah. But it's easy too. Like, you just have Google Translate and you try. It works out. And it depends on where you go. Like, especially in Peru, the Spanish they speak is like on the news. It's much clearer.
Oh.
So you just have to be like, muy despacio, por favor.
Oh my God, I literally will always look at people and say, más despacio, por favor, no puedo comprender.
Yeah,
and
you got it.
Oh.
And then they say it slower, and I'm still like, ooh, still don't know it.
I do notice you do travel a lot. Am I wrong to think that from the periphery? It seems like you travel a lot.
Oh yeah, I like traveling. Whenever I get money or time off, I'm like, bye.
I hope you say it that way.
Yeah.
What do you do? I know you mentioned you were like at a holiday party. What do you do during the day? I know you're a stand-up, but like, what do you do to make ends meet?
It's like I work at a like creative agency, so like
that's really
copywriting
cool.
and stuff. Mm-hmm.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's fun. It's cool.
I feel like that would be a very fun job, especially for someone like you who like you're a good writer. So I feel like that's kind of like right up your alley.
Yeah, and it's fun because sometimes you have to think of like a concept. Like they're like, think of a trend that it's mostly for social posts.
Okay.
So,
I need all the help I can get there.
Yeah. So they're like, think of a trend that we could do. So I'll just get stoned and go on TikTok and be like, oh, we could do this.
Yeah. You're like, oh, I got it.
Yeah.
We could do something to Bad Idea by Olivia Rodrigo. Yeah. The trend that I always wanted to try, but the problem with trying it is that I don't have anything that I could do it with, is when they did the blindfolded, like you build a little cardboard box thing and you put all these different like bottles of whatever, and you have to like identify each thing you're drinking. So like get people to discern, Pepsi, Coke, Diet Pepsi, RC Cola, whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't drink soda or juice really. I mainly do like water, tea, and coffee. So I can't really, if someone were like, can you tell the difference? I'd be like, no.
No, I haven't done that. We don't really feel like, I'm just saying like they had, the AI thing that's out right now that they expander, like the doot. I'm like, hey, let's do that. Like those easy ones. But I would love to taste test. I love seeing those and people freak out. Like when they, not even taste testing, but touching the things. Like I saw a dad lose his mind over touching like a potato in a box. They're like, put your hand there. And he's like, it's moving. And it was just a potato. I love the internet.
Yeah, no, I'm hearing that.
It's great.
Do you do any, because I follow you on everything. Do you do any of the trends? Like any of the AI expander or whatever?
Not really. I mean, unless, like, I'll do like the, what is it? Lip sync things sometimes if it's funny, if I think of a thing. But not, I don't know. I'm down to do whatever. I'm like, I'll throw anything at the wall, see what sticks until something does.
Yeah. Nothing has for me. These walls seem to be well greased over here.
Same.
So I don't quite know.
Like two things. I got one thing. It was like I went to Tennessee and they have this exhibit of the Titanic just there. And it's a giant fake Titanic. And I use the sound white people do the stupidest shit or something.
I mean, that's good.
That's got 1 million. That's all I got. Not my face. So what I'm learning is not my face.
Not my face. As long as I'm not in it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I want to keep talking, but now is as good a time as any to get to the first segment.
Okay,
Are you ready for the Newly Friend game?
Yes, let's do it.
The first segment is the Newly Friend game. It's like the Newlywed game, but we're friends. Unless we're married in the state of New Jersey. I don't know.
Not that I know of.
Listen,
Let
I
me
don't
check
know.
my watch. No, I don't think so.
We weren't married by Chris Christie? I love how you checked your watch. Okay, so the way this works, I'm going to ask you a question. You're going to write down your answer. You're not going to say it out loud.
Okay.
I'm going to write down what I think your answer is, and then we're going to flip our boards and see if we are right. So I already knew for a long time what my question for you was going to be.
Okay.
So I'm not at all concerned about what your answer could be because I feel like I stand a chance here.
Okay.
My question for you is, what is your and don't say it out loud, write it down. What is your favorite Zac Efron film?
Okay.
So you're going to write that one down. It's tough.
What is it? I don't even like his movies that much.
You love him. Is this a bad question for you? I can change it.
No, I'm trying to think. Hold on a second. Oh, yeah.
Flip your board on 3. 1, 2, 3. Flip.
Oh! That's second. I was going to do that. I'm like, that's the one that turned me on.
Neighbors,
yeah.
Which is so good.
Yeah, it's so good. And Zac, Seth Rogen kept telling him to take his shirt off, and he's like, okay, for every scene just because. He was like, wait, why do I have to be shirtless for this scene?
And they're like, because you do.
Because you're Zac Efron.
Because it's important.
Yeah. But 17 again, I was going to write runner-up.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I still got it wrong, but I really do appreciate that. I was going to say, like, the movie that I'm dying to see him in is The Iron Claw.
I just got my tickets today.
When is it out?
Next week.
Oh, but you already bought them.
Yeah, because I'm excited.
I think it's going to be great. I hate to, like, jump on the Kelly train here, but I'm going to. His jaw looks a little weird in the trailer.
But he's a weird-looking wrestler. It's fine. Like, look at his hair.
The hair is weird.
When I saw the trailer, I was like, who's this guy? Why does his voice sound familiar? And then he starts running. I'm like, who's this hottie? Who is he? And then I saw his face. I'm like, oh, it's my boy.
I'm sorry. For how long of the trailer did you not realize that it was Efron?
Solid 20 seconds at least. I was like the beginning when he's like, I was family. My family's been cursed or whatever. And then he starts running. I'm like, what the heck? And then you see Lip from Shameless. I'm like, ooh, baby.
Jeremy Allen White. Yeah.
And then you see him and I'm like, oh. It was a very exciting moment the first time I saw Iron Claw, the trailer. I heard it's very sad, and I can't wait to cry my ass off in that theater.
Are you a big crier?
Oh yeah, I love a good cry, and I put on Avengers Endgame. That's my go-to.
Never seen it.
Ooh, especially Dead Dad.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah, I love that you're like, hey, you have a dead dad. You're gonna love.
Yeah. I love good dad stuff.
Yeah.
In movies, and if he's like such a good dad, and then there's a thing. I don't know. I can't ruin it for you, but I don't watch the whole 3 hours of Avengers Endgame. There's a lot of shit I don't like Captain America.
They're not good. I've not seen most Marvel films.
Snoozer, but a lot of the like Thor and Iron Man, guys.
I've seen Iron Man, all of them. Iron Man 1, 2, and 3. I saw them all.
You gotta watch Endgame. It's Iron Man, dude. He's so good.
The problem with Iron Man 3, not to get into Marvel minutia, was that it was so dependent on having seen the Avengers movies, which I had not seen.
Yeah.
Like, he's, like, shaking. They're like, what's the matter? He's like, from the blip. And I'm like, I understand what you're talking about in theory, but, like, I've not actually seen that movie, and it's frustrating. You're making me see it.
Yeah, I hate that they force you to do that. I don't know if you... I mean, maybe you have to. Maybe that's why I don't like Captain America stuff, because I haven't really watched any of his stuff. He's just... There's nobody that's that good, nice, and like he's just too nice, and that's why I don't trust him. Like, he's too perfect.
Captain America.
Yeah. So that's why I don't watch any of his stuff. But yeah, you could just fast forward. You got Disney Plus. You don't have to watch all of it.
I do have Disney Plus. I meant to cancel it 3 episodes ago. I said I was going to cancel it. I haven't yet.
What episode? What shows?
Oh no, episodes of this podcast. I mentioned I was going to cancel it, and I haven't.
Home Alone's on it now. Good.
Other than Home Alone, because that is a very obvious answer. Other than Home Alone, what is my favorite Christmas movie? Don't say it. Write it down.
Okay.
And I will give you points if you get either of these two, because I don't see you getting them. So
they're not like mainstream-ish?
No, I would say they're both decently mainstream. You've heard of both. All right, flip your board on 3. 1, 2, 3, flip. I had a feeling you were going to write Elf.
Yeah.
You wrote Elf, and you wrote Miracle on 34th Street.
I wasn't sure if you're like a moody, like a sensitive guy. That's why I put the Miracle on 34th.
I am very sensitive, but I actually wrote Nightmare Before Christmas and Jim Carrey's The Grinch.
They're both very good. And also, thank you for knowing that Nightmare is a Christmas movie.
It is.
People are like, it's a Halloween movie. I'm like, it takes place in Halloween Town. It's a Christmas. He's saving Christmas.
Here's what I love about that movie. I want to watch it at Halloween and Christmas.
It's true.
I think it works in both places.
It does, because there's not enough family. I mean, there are family-friendly Christmas Halloween movies, but
Halloween
musicals.
Town, literally Halloween Town is its own. Musicals, yeah. I don't think there are a lot of Halloween musicals.
I love it.
But I will say, love Hocus Pocus. That's a great Halloween.
Second one, awful though.
Oh my God, could it have been worse? What happened there?
So disappointed.
I really did not enjoy it.
Yeah.
I feel like I could just talk to you about movies for like 10 hours.
You could. It's a problem with me. I feel like when I meet people, I just start talking about movies instead of like, hey, how are you? What's your name?
Yeah.
Like, did you see Thanksgiving?
Have you been? Yes, I did.
It's great.
I did not love it.
Oh my! What?
I didn't love it.
I loved it so. I think it's the best Eli Roth movie I've ever seen.
I think that's a low bar, and
Which is true.
yeah, I wanted them to lean into either being absolutely absurd and corny, or trying to be legit. I think that they were trying to do both at the same time, and I was like, no.
I think it was a good slasher, and
Slashers are my favorites.
Yeah, I thought me too, and I thought the casting was brilliant because I kept me guessing who the killer was the whole time, even though it was so obvious.
It was obvious like when you look back, it's super obvious, but like not when you're watching.
Yeah.
Anyone who claims, because I can usually figure out movies pretty far in advance, the ending, and I'm not spoiling it, the ending was definitely like a possibility.
Yeah.
But I was also a little bit like...
Bit of a reach with the...
Yeah,
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I was like, come on. But that's when I thought it was going to be super corny, and in a good way. I love a corny horror movie. I just watched Slaughterhouse. You know what I mean? Like, I like...
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
No, is it about sloths at a slaughterhouse?
Oh, my God. If you like dumb horror, you will love this.
Okay.
This is about a sloth who has anger issues. Mm-hmm. And is abducted from the jungle and brought to the States by a exotic animal poacher.
Fun.
Obviously. And this girl adopts the sloth to get social media clout. Like he like uses Face ID to get her to log when she's asleep, to get her to log into her phone, and like goes to Instagram.
The sloth?
Correct. Goes to Instagram to like see her pictures and gets so angry, like steals her car keys and like takes the car and goes on a joyride. Yeah, it's like the craziest.
This is on Amazon Prime, right?
It's one of the, you know how like Hulu drops like 50 ridiculous Halloween movies every year?
Okay.
This was one of them.
Huluween.
Yeah, Huluween.
Yeah.
Why have you not written like a comedy horror movie?
Thank you so much. I have. It just hasn't. But yeah.
Is it a slasher?
Yeah, it's a slasher called Prom Weekend, and it's loosely based on in New Jersey. You go like after prom, you go down
to the shore.
Yeah, Prom Weekend. And I first was like gonna be a super bad type thing.
Okay.
But it wasn't really working. It's not timely anymore to make those type. I mean, it is, but it's different humor than I like.
I loved Booksmart.
Yeah, but you got to be smart. I just wanted these girls to talk about dicks and like be super bad.
But I think that would work now. We've gone full circle where like people aren't doing that anymore.
Well, I did that, but then I also murdered them. So
okay,
it's like a girl trying to lose her virginity before Christmas. No, college.
Yeah.
And
or Christmas. Probably, but she's probably hoping before college, and worst case before Christmas.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And then she there's a slasher and they kill people. And it's fun because I named like all the people my friends. And
I do that so often. What I will do though is I'll take a first name of one and a last name of another and combine them.
That's fun.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like if it were like you and Christy Bana, it would be like Kelly Bana and Christy McInerney.
Yeah.
So that way no one's getting fully like found out, but it's still I'm still giving nods to everybody I love.
No, the killer is Joe Barone, my crush in high school.
Love
specifically because I just love his name.
I mean, it actually is a very good. It feels movie-ish.
Yeah. Right.
Do you always write, even if you know you're not going to be in it? Do you always write a character that's kind of you-ish?
Yes and no. I try not to because I think it's I make it too much like me, and then I focus like. No, I try to make him kind of crazier than me because I feel like I'm too boring, if that makes sense.
There are a lot of words that you describe you. Boring would not be one.
Oh, thanks.
Do you find yourself boring?
Yeah.
In what way?
I don't know. Like every day, like wake up, I'm like, I guess I gotta work and just do. I don't know.
Even a serial killer, and I'm using that as an example because of what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Even a serial killer like wakes up and goes, I gotta go. Really do some reconnaissance work and watch how, these girls, what they do on a day-to-day basis so I know where to track them so I can murder them. Or like, I need to go and pick up a new knife set because this knife set's just not cutting through bone anymore. Like, whatever job you have, there's always the monotony of having a job.
Yeah.
I would argue there's monotony about not having a job.
I don't know. I get frustrated with like writing jokes and stuff, and I'm like, this is not exciting enough. that's when I get bored. And so I'm like, how do I make it enough fart jokes? Do something relatable and less boring. I don't know. That's what I.
Do you ever take huge risks anymore? Because you've been doing comedy for a while. I mean, do you ever like get throw into the mix into stand up? Like do a joke where you go, "This is fucking haywire controversy. Let's see how it goes."
Not that much because I feel like people don't want that from me. Does that make? I don't want to be a shock comic.
Not a shock comic, but what I said this to someone once, and I stand by this. I was like, I'm a clean comic.
Yeah.
And I feel a little pressure in that regard to continue doing that. And then I realized I was like, I don't have that big of a following. I could do whatever the fuck I want. I can get up there and talk about sex. No one's going to give a shit. It doesn't matter. So I don't think people know what they want from me even. Like I have an okay following on TikTok and a semi-okay following on Instagram. But like these people aren't going to blink an eye if all of a sudden I'm like, so I was having sex this one time. No one's going to care.
Yeah. See, I'm trying to think of like what's mainstream, not what they want from me, but what's working everywhere else.
If it's already working everywhere else, people don't want any more of it.
I don't know. It seems like they do, like crowd work and stuff. I'm trying to do.
It's already dead.
Is it?
I post a stand-up clip every single week, which by the way has done nothing for me. But I post a stand-up clip every single week, and because you're posting 52 clips a year, a lot of them have to be crowd work because no one writes 52 good jokes a year. It doesn't happen. Yeah. No one writes. Some people don't write 52 good jokes in their career. So I post crowd work clips. They've all now fallen off. Like no one really cares about them anymore. And I have usually decent video. Nobody cares.
Are they? You don't post crowd work. This is my nitpick with crowd work clips. I just hate when people like ask somebody a question.
What do you do?
And then they are funnier. The audience member's comeback is funnier than them. And it's like, yeah, like, what do you do? And they're like, oh, but I have a joke or whatever, the audience member. And then they cut the crowd work thing. I'm like, oh, so you just put this stranger's joke and put it on your Instagram just to be like, oh, see, they're funny, but you're not, dude.
Well, I feel like I know we've run a bit. Are you ready for the final segment?
Yeah, let's go.
I love that you gave it proper thought. You're like,
let's go. I'm down.
The final segment is the lightning round. It's 5 fast questions. They do not at all have to be fast answers.
Okay.
They are the same 5 questions we end every episode with.
Cool.
And I put it on an index card because I do think someone will see this and be like, he could be a late night talk show host.
Yeah. I mean, that's why you start a podcast, right?
Yeah.
You're like, I'm a host.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I also felt like there aren't enough straight white male opinions on the internet. And I was like, let me bring another one. Question 1, what is a favorite ritual of yours? So like, I love brewing tea.
I love doing yoga almost every day.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
When is it a morning, night?
Usually in the morning, before noon. I'll try to do it before work, but if I don't, I usually do Duolingo and then yoga. Because I
also do Duolingo every day.
Yeah, because you got to get the morning and evening double points. I'm not going to break my streak, even though I don't know shit in Spanish.
Do you?
Mierda. Thank you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I know how to write it.
Mierda. Sorry, it's mierda. Everyone's going to kill me for that.
I learned that from Bedazzled. Mis Establos. Remember have you ever watched Bedazzled?
I'm sure I saw it, but
Brendan
the fact
Fraser's
that you are still quoting it is incredible. Brendan Fraser and Elizabeth Hurley.
Yes. Arguably his best role of all time. She's the devil. And he always makes a wish to try and get with Allison, but she always fucks it up. Like he's like, I want to be wealthy and I want her to be married to me. So he becomes a Colombian drug lord, and she's married, but she's cheating on him. Anyways, that's how I learned Spanish, Mis Establos and Mierda.
Now, you actually believe, and I just want to be clear for those who are listening, you believe this is a movie that's worth going back to watch again?
Oh my God, yes. It's probably I watched it probably like 2 years ago, and it's still like
it still hits.
He plays different. He plays a giant basketball player. He plays a very sensitive guy that sings about dolphins on the beach.
So that's me.
He plays, like, his range is incredible. It's annoying that he was struggling after The Whale to find a role. I'm like, you're Brendan Fraser.
Still after The Whale?
Yeah.
What do you mean before The Whale he was struggling?
Even after The Whale, he was struggling. Like, I listened to some Spartless or something. And he's like,
love Spartless.
Yeah, it's great. He was like, I don't have anything in the canon yet. Even after The Whale, and I was like, Brendan, what?
I love that you were on a first name basis with Brendan and Zach, where you're just like,
one day.
Brendan. Okay, question 2. What is a running bit you have with a friend or partner that makes you laugh?
Running bit. This is a weird one. I don't even talk to them that much, but it's really funny. This guy, he's like a comic in Arizona, but I just saw him recently. He moved to New York, and I always do this to people.
Yeah.
And when we started hanging out, he'd be like, "Oh, you calling me, dude? You calling me? Hey, what's up? Hey, how are you?" So I love doing that. I'm like, "Hey, Tristan," and he's like, "Oh, what's up, dude? What's up?"
That's a great one.
I like that one. Yeah.
I don't think I know this guy, Tristan.
I don't even know Tristan Bolt. He's a young kid I did like Bird City with him, and now I saw him at the Stand in New York, and I was like, years. It's been like probably more than 3 years. I forget the pandemic, but like 4 or 5 years.
The pandemic has made everything seem like it was yesterday.
Yeah, but we still got that thing. It's like, dude. And he's like, "Oh, you calling me?"
That's a great one.
Yeah.
Question 3. What is a controversial opinion that you have?
Brand New is still one of my favorite bands.
Is that controversial?
Yeah, he got Me Too'd.
Oh,
Jesse
I don't
Lacey.
keep up.
Yeah.
If you said Lost Prophets were one of your favorite bands, then we'd have a much bigger problem.
Somebody kill somebody there in that?
I think that guy was, I think he may have been involved with like a 13-year-old. I can't quite remember.
My thing with Jesse Lacey is he was the only one that got caught. You think Adam Lazzara didn't fuck any little kids?
Wait, so this person, Jesse Lacey,
the lead singer of Brand New.
What did he do exactly?
He was, I guess, hooking up with younger teenage girls when he was like in his early 20s. It wasn't like a huge...
But he was involved with, it was still past the age limits. He was with underage women.
Correct.
And Adam Lazzara is...
The lead singer of Taking Back Sunday.
Oh, TBS is now getting...
Well, no, I'm just saying there's no way that Jesse Lacey did that if Adam Lazzara did. Adam's fucking weirder, in my opinion.
Okay.
So, I don't know. I feel bad for Jesse, but also it's bad that he did it.
Sure.
But, man, I still love their music so much.
Listen, there are a lot of people that still listen to Michael Jackson.
Yeah. 'Tis true.
There is a line I think we all walk now of like a lot, like it's very hard to draw some sort of artificial line of like this is where you draw the line, because like there's so much nuance to all of this. Excuse me, where it's like you're like, okay, well, I'll use myself as an example. Like I don't pursue Michael Jackson music, but if it comes on, I won't turn it off. But if Kanye music comes on, I will turn it off.
Yeah.
And
See, I'm the opposite. I
okay.
do mess with some Kanye sometimes. I mean, I'm sure so many people did such bad stuff and they haven't been caught yet. That's what annoys me. Is like
that terrifies me every day. That like someone I like has probably already done something horrible and I just don't know.
Please, Zac Efron. I feel like everybody, like I loved James Franco and then he got and then Will Smith. I went through I loved Will Smith.
I still love Will Smith. I think what he did was horrible, and also I still like him. And I think we can't judge someone on their worst moment. And it's not like he was, doing, involved in some of the horrible things that some of these other people were involved in. He slapped someone. It's terrible.
Yeah.
He assaulted that person. It's horrible. And also, I don't necessarily think that erases all the other things he's done.
It just annoys me because I read his book and I'm like, this is all fake bullshit. Because now, what's her face came out saying that they've been divorced for years, and his book is all just fluff about it. I'm like, I read your book and it's all bullshit, man.
I was halfway through his book when the slap happened and I stopped reading it.
Good. You didn't miss anything.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't even get to see how he got jiggy with it, so I feel like that was a miss. All right, question 4. Mm-hmm. Have you ever experienced imposter syndrome? And if so, is there one moment that really sticks with you?
It's not one moment. I feel like it's every day. I don't know. I feel like, every day I'm like, why am I doing this? How am I? Why? But you've been doing it for so long, like stand up.
Yeah, I have Stockholm syndrome. I'm in it now.
Yeah, I can't, what else am I supposed to do? There's not really a moment that really sticks out. It's just like every day, and then you just realize everybody deals with it. Then you go on TikTok and you see Rachel Zegler talking about it. I'm like, this bitch is in all the movies right now. You're fine, girl.
I interviewed Philippa Sue, who is an Emmy and Tony winning individual. She originated one of the roles in Hamilton.
Oh yeah. And, the wife, right?
Yeah, the wife. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I said to her, I was like, I have to ask, and I'm scared of your answer.
Yeah.
At the point you've reached in your career, when you've done everything you've done, do you still feel like a fraud? And she goes, all the time.
Yeah.
And I was like, so Tony's, Emmys don't do anything? She goes, sure, I'm not saying they're not great and it doesn't feel good, but it doesn't change the fact that like any room I walk into, I'm like, oh man, are they going to figure it all out?
Yeah.
And I was like, don't say that, because like that's not helping me. That's making this worse for me. I was interviewing her and a guy named Luke Bracey, who's like some heartthrob from Australia, really nice guy. He was in Holiday, if you ever saw that movie.
Okay.
And but he was like, yeah, like I was on a movie with Richard Gere, and
great Australian.
Oh, thank you. I'll stop doing it. But he goes. Richard walks in, and I just started sweating, and Richard, he says, I said to Richard, how are you doing? And Richard goes, I don't know, I'm a little nervous for how the day's going to start. Yeah. And he goes, you're Richard Gere. You're nervous?
Yeah.
Oh, no. And I feel that way. I genuinely feel that way. I don't think it ever goes away.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think if it does, then maybe there's some... I think you care too much. Then that's why it doesn't go away, you know?
I think it's a great way to look at it.
Yeah. I think if you care so much about it, you're always worried about doing the wrong thing. And that's why you're like, why am I here? You know?
Yes.
That's...
Excellently
words.
Put.
Yeah.
Last question is typically, what is your favorite tea or comfort? But I know you drink tea. So what is your favorite tea?
Tea is chai, baby.
Chai. Is there a particular chai, or this is the chai for you?
I really like the one that you got. You sent it to me a few years ago, and I loved it.
Yeah.
I'm really not a hater of any chai. I love it. I like. There is one that's like, it was like a Tazo pumpkin chai or something.
Okay.
Like that. Pretty good. But yeah.
But the Rishi, I think I sent you a Rishi chai. That was the one?
Very good. Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Love it.
That's the pod. How do you feel?
Great. It was so fun.
Oh,
great
you were
talking.
great.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. You're welcome anytime.
Thanks. Thanks, Josh.
That was Kelly McInerney. You can find her on Instagram at Kelly McInerney and on TikTok at Kelly_McInerney. Steep Conversations is produced and edited by Martin Alvarez. Our theme song and additional music are by Oliver Hymack. Our cover art was done by Neil Fraser with photography by Matt Mazisco. Social media by Dia Villegas. Please write a review and rate our podcast on Apple Podcasts and wherever else you can. You can send any questions, comments, newly friend game suggestions, or tea suggestions to steepcombos@gmail.com or tweet us at steepconvos. I'm Josh Lanzette, and you can follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook at Josh Lanzette. We'll be back next week, so until then, happy steeping.
People are always like, why do you travel so much? I'm like, because I'm depressed.
Yeah. Because I can't afford medication, so I'm traveling.
Yeah.